So I'm super excited to share this massive download. I just got done meditating for like damn near 2 hours. And it started with Tupac. Tupac came in. It's not the first time he's come in, but I'm gonna do a separate video on what he had to say. But he really paved the way into really explaining our vibrational experience. And it was so beautiful. So basically, he was telling me his messages, which were around how he didn't give a this is his words, that he didn't give a shit if people liked him. He didn't give a shit if people liked his music, because he believed so much in his truth, his vibration, which was represented by his music. He literally gave us the power, the permission to go within our own shadow with his music. He put his heart and soul in his music, his frequency in his music. And as vibrational beings, it allowed us to feel through and reconnect to our heart and soul, our frequency. And so many artists do this, because music is vibration, it's frequency. And you really resonate with those certain artists who have that connection with themselves, where they're no longer chasing anything. They are just being real. And it really is true. We feel to heal. And that is what music allows us to do. That is what that artist was doing when they made that music. When they were singing that song, putting their heart and soul into it, transmuting their shadow through that music. Isn't that beautiful? You can't look at music the same way after that. So I want you to even try listening to some of Tupac's songs if you're a Tupac fan, and understand that there was so much more than what he is talking about being given through that song. And he even told me that. It was never about just drugs and hoes and racism. There was so much more to it. There was like these downloads within the song. Because it's not about the words, the energy behind them. He is literally expressing his soul frequency, which carries light codes, which carries downloads and wisdom that we can receive just by listening. Not just to the words, but feeling it. Even as I'm talking right now, I am so in tune with my frequency that I don't care about anything else but this feeling of expressing myself and what I have learned, what I have unlocked within myself, as Tupac did for me. So listen to it and see what you feel. See what downloads come to you, aha moments. And I guarantee you will have a whole new experience with music, not just Tupac. You can do it with anything. For me, it's a lot of Mac Miller resonates. And oftentimes people who are trying to talk to me, those songs will call out to me more. But all music allows me to really work through my own shadow. I use music a lot of time to give me that sense of safety and ease going within. When I didn't feel safe, when I didn't feel heard, when I didn't feel understood. So, what he did for me there in my meditation was he unlocked through his frequency more of me. And after I had that conversation with him, which was very long, much more than what I'm talking about now, which I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. So stay tuned. I want to let it resonate more because I feel like there's more to uncover from it. But anyway, he literally showed me, and what I saw and experienced was that he unlocked a door to a whole new aspect of me. He expanded my consciousness and awareness of my consciousness. And the rest of my meditation, I was exploring that. I was getting these massive downloads. It was a very active meditation in that way, where a lot of the things that I have been feeling and restricted and stuck on have made so much sense now. And that's what I want to talk about more in this video. And that's the aspect of chasing. And what I received in my meditation is chasing is you trying to fulfill conditions that you have set on your desires, on yourself. Because we live in a conditionless world. Ask and you shall receive. Resistance that we encounter, limitations that we encounter, or conditions that we have set on ourselves and our desire. So we feel like we have to reach outside of ourselves. So in that way, conditions are representing the shadows or the lack within yourself that you're trying to fulfill from something outside of you, externally. So how do you stop chasing then? You fill the holes within yourself by remembering that you live in a conditionless world, by remembering that you are a multidimensional, vibrational being, the creator and main character in your reality, your story. And so by simply remembering that, and another way to do this as well is understanding that when you're chasing, you're simply matching your shadow. You're matching your limitations, that frequency, that inauthentic version, that unaligned version of you. Because you have inner shadows and outer shadows. You have people in your life that represent a shadow within yourself. And so often we're trying to overcome them and fight them or chase them and keep fulfilling these imaginary conditions that we've set on ourselves. Further trying to chase to fulfill those holes within ourselves, whether it's a lack of worthiness or it's some kind of validation. And therefore it's like we're in a dark room or cave with a flashlight, but we won't turn it on. We keep stumbling in the dark when all we have to do is turn on the flashlight and we can see. But in this case, all we have to do is remember that we are the light. We are the light that lights the way. So you can never be lost. You have to fall within yourself. You must be vulnerable. And instead of trying to stumble in the dark, you must return to your light by looking within yourself and being real with yourself about what you're trying to fulfill within yourself, what you're trying to recognize within yourself. Recognize the conditions you've set on yourself for that worthiness. And that's what I was coming into terms with. Well, a lot of mine it started off with realizing that I lost trust in my inner world and my truth at a very young age, being in the closet. And from there, I started developing a pattern of shame. Everything I did was out of shame and fear of people really seeing my truth. So I buried it. I matched everybody else. I developed a belief or a program to keep me safe that was that I need to please others and be desirable to others to be safe, to be loved, to be accepted. And as that built, the more I became who I thought I needed to be, and I stepped further away from my truth, my light. So I became stumbling in the dark and forgot that I even had a flashlight. You see where I'm getting at? The more you chase, the more you lose yourself. Think about those relationships where you've completely lost yourself. You didn't even know who you were because you were so busy chasing that partner. Same thing. When all you need to do is fall back into your truth. And you do that by feeling. By feeling those parts of yourself that you're running from. And meeting them. Being the light that shines them on. And even in my meditation, it was like I was told, turn on the light. And I flipped on the light switch, and all of a sudden all these downloads came. That shame within me around my sexuality and vulnerability and love. And all these things, a lot of it was shame that I didn't even know was there. And a lot of times you don't know it's there because it's like background noise. You don't notice it until someone points it out, then it's really loud. And that's how it feels with trauma a lot of the time. And another aspect of this is you lose your attraction to a partner or to a thing. Like you lose your resonance with it during this healing process, during this spiritual awakening process. It's not that you don't like that thing anymore. It's that you healed an aspect of you where you don't feel the need to chase anymore, because you start to recognize how much of what you did, what you thought was like resonance and attraction, was really just your need to achieve. It was that chase of wholeness, that chasing of you filling those holes within yourself. It's the chase. And all of a sudden you start to just not want to do it anymore. Like for me, it was like not chasing people anymore. Not feeling the need to chase money anymore. Not feeling the need to work for money anymore, but just to attract it. So I dropped the conditions. And so I felt like dead inside for a bit. I almost felt like, who am I? Like I've always loved this thing. How do I not love it anymore? Like even as a trainer of 10 years, I lost my love for working out for a bit. But it wasn't that I lost my love for working out. It was that I needed to drop the conditions. I needed to be more authentic doing it. Doing it just for the fun of doing it. Doing it because I like connecting to my body. And some things did fall off. I realized I never really liked them. I just did them to be safe. I did them to fit in, to be normal. I did it to chase and fill a void within me. But a lot of the things, I sparked back my love for them just by simply dropping the conditions. By recognizing like, oh, I can do this just for fun. I don't have to chase anymore. I don't have to achieve to be good enough and worthy. You see, I thought I was doing something wrong and losing myself, when really I was finding myself the whole time. Certain relationships die out because you realize that you were only chasing. You were only trying to fill a void that you could fill yourself. And that's what detachment is. It's detaching from that outer validation. It's stopping chasing. Because when you're attached to something out here, it's only because you don't feel like you have it within here. And that's what the main point of this download was about, and even what Tupac was talking about. When you're attached to people liking you, or you're attached to anything outside of you, you lose your connection with your resonance. You're in the shadow and forgetting that you're the light. Just turn on the damn light. And so, going back to turning on the light, when you experience this shadow outside of yourself, like say that relationship, or an outer fear of some case, or a circumstance that you don't prefer, what does it mean to turn on the light? It means don't react to it. Don't fall into it and match it anymore. But simply fall into your frequency, fall into yourself, be in the body and feeling, being vulnerable with yourself and others, if it calls for it. Turning on your light by remembering you are the light. When you respond differently in that way, your outer reality responds differently too. Meaning you literally transmute that shadow into a more authentic frequency of you. The same thing within, the same thing without. By feeling these emotions, you're transmuting them just by looking at them and feeling them. And the same thing goes with your outer reality. When you show up authentically and react or respond differently to a situation, it changes too. The only reason why it's been consistently showing up as the same is because you have been responding or reacting in the same way, in the same frequency. You're matching that shadow instead of turning on your light. You're stumbling in the dark. So those are like the main points of what I got today. And I know there's probably going to be a part 2 or like another aspect of this that's still brewing. But I really felt inspired to share what I found today just because it helped me so much. It gave me that security that I wasn't, going crazy, or everything around me was wrong. I just need to turn on my light and remind myself that, oh, it's the chasing I don't like. It's not that thing. It was a reminder to simply relax and be me. And that's my only job. That's it. Because I was finding so much of my power and satisfaction outside of myself, when it was my own magic I was experiencing the whole time. It wasn't my relationships. It wasn't the work I was doing. It was me and feeling myself, being within me. So anything you feel attached to in that way is you mistaking the power you're getting from that thing. You're mistaking basically that you're getting that power outside of you. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not getting that power outside of you. You have it within you. You just need to be aware of it. You need to call that back in. Because I guarantee you what you get out there is only a minuscule of what you have in here to give yourself. You've always been able to fulfill your needs. You've always been enough. You've just set conditions that have blocked you from seeing that. And that is why we are here. To transmute those conditions, those limitations, and be the limitless beings that we are. To create heaven on earth. Having the human experience. We're not meant to suffer. We literally create that suffering on our own by not trusting ourselves, by not trusting that we are the light and the answer, the solution. We are everything. We just have to be willing to meet ourselves fully, be fully us, be authentic. So I love to hear, what insights you got from this, both spoken, but just what you got. As Tupac said, it's not the words, it's the energies. I'm transmuting light codes to you right now. You're activating just by listening to this, by feeling my energy. So what did you learn about yourself? So if you're feeling me and you like to subscribe, do that, do you. If you like to book a call with me, I also have some available as far as if you go on my Instagram, which I'll put below. You can go the book now button and you can find a scheduling link, or you can message me as well. But yeah, that's what I do. I help you meet you and create your own reality and live your best life. Be authentic inside and out. So like I said, if you dug this, comment below with what did you get from it? What resonated with you? Just know that you are fucking worthy. Anything that's telling you that you're not is a condition that you can drop, because you live in a conditionless world where you're the only one bringing the conditions in. You are the light that transmutes that shadow. You don't have to be afraid of it. So what can you drop today?